It's Wellness Nerd Out time! How you guys doing today? Happy Wellness Nerd Out time, and a very happy birthday to Lee Pilnick and Sean Houston. Happy birthday to the both of you. This one's for you guys. We'll talk about them at the end. Johnny, what's up, baby? How you doing, brother? Love you. Miss you. So I'll talk to you soon here. So what I want to talk about today is new research that came out about being able to predict potential alcohol abuse from a youthful age based on specific neuroconnectivity patterns that we see in people with a relatively low level response to alcohol. And we'll talk about what all that kind of means here in a second. But let's say what study it came from. Well, it was published in the journal Alcoholism, Clinical and Experimental Research, done at the University of California, San Diego School of Medicine, published on January 22nd, 2022. So very recent, you guys. And yes, absolutely, Johnny. We will. Love you. And, you know, it had previously been known that, you know, people with low level response have general, neural connectivity downplay, we should say, in specific regions of the brain responsible for processing rewards and emotions, such as the amygdala, for example. But what they did was they observed these patterns, the stimulatory effect of them or lack thereof, based on their reactions to specific facial expressions. And these people with low-level response to alcohol. So what is low-level response? Right. Well, that just pretty simply means, they don't have a high response to alcohol, right? A very powerful one. And so when they drink and they don't feel it that much, right? And then they keep drinking, Well, now they're going to need more alcohol to get the same feeling. These people are much more likely to become alcoholics when they get older, right? And so if we can identify these common denominators in neuronal patterns, right? Connectivity patterns between neurons, then in specific regions of the brain, then we may be able to determine who's at risk, maybe keep them away from things at a young age if they're very susceptible, right, to developing, alcohol abuse. So what they did in this study, 108 participants, they gave, and they neurologically tested the groups before. So what they did was they filled it with half youthful adults that were not alcoholics, by the way, none of them. Half of them were low-level response participants and half were high-level response participants, right? And again, they had judged the neuroconnectivity patterns beforehand to assess this. Now, what they did was they gave alcoholic beer and placebo. It was low percent alcohol, but they just want to see any effect here, right? So no one's quite to the degree of drunkenness. Nonetheless, half of them had a non-alcoholic placebo, right? And what they found was actually the low-level response group had even further reduced patterns, connectivity specifically from the amygdala to the frontal cortex. And Bertha Flores, how you doing? Thanks for hopping on. And the high-level response participants had a greater stimulation of these regions in the brain. And this was in response to observing different facial expressions. So what they did was they showed them pictures of someone happy or sad, something that would induce happiness in them, or sadness or fear, right? Because these people with a low-level response, they don't get the same release of good endorphins, and they don't release the same amounts of dopamine and things, a major neurotransmitter involved in the reward circuit in the brain, in response to facial expressions. Normally you're around somebody that smiles all the time, you're gonna release some more dopamine, right? You're gonna feel a little bit better. For them, it has minimal effect, right? And so, they are at much higher risk. And we look at the effect that, alcohol has on them too, right? Being low-level response, well, it's very dangerous in the future for these types of people to get their hands on alcohol. And the most important takeaway from this study is that we can identify these genetic biomarkers early in life. And so, we can, because they're genetically determined, right? These pathways and how they connect and how they are stimulated. Mr. Dave Carey, how you doing? Thank you for hopping on. So, that's just some pretty cool research. Something I thought was just super neat and, came out recently, right? So, we think, we don't respond to alcohol in the same way, all of us, of course. Some people can drink all the time. It has different effects on them and this and that. And, here's yet another way that maybe you haven't thought of in the past. So let's get our kids tested for things like this in their youth, and then stop it in its tracks before it starts. So that's what we got for you guys today. Before we go, we're going to say happy birthday, Lee Pilnick. How you doing, Lee?
Jamal Lee, come on, man. We gonna die, Lee.
That's Chris Tucker, if no one's ever seen Rush Hour 2. But Lee, every time I hear your name, I think of that, even though it's spelt like Lay. It's been a relatively transient period that I've known you, but every time I've hung out with you, we had a great time. And I love Evo, so, God bless you, Evo. I hope you're having fun today, too. Love you. And, every time we've chilled, it's been a good time. We were hanging out at your house the first time you were kind enough to invite me over, let me eat a bunch of meat. It was really great. I had a few laughs. It was awesome. Then we met up for Johnny's birthday, not Johnny Arminio, Johnny Napoli, for his 40th. That was a great time. And you seem to make Evo really happy, and that makes me really happy, because I love Evo. And so, I know you must be a good person, again, even though I haven't known you for that long. Pretty sure I'm a decent judge of character, So I hope you have a great day, Lee. And this one is forever your day in the book of Wend Wellness. Happy birthday. Happy birthday, Sean Houston. Sean, dude, you are just like the best time in the world, man. We went out in Patchogue recently, right? And I ran into you and Michelle, and that was so fun, very nostalgic. Had obviously seen you guys all the time back in the day. Mark, what's up, girl? How you doing? I'm gonna see you soon, all right? Coming out to Iowa in a couple days. I'm actually leaving tomorrow, so bada bing, bada boom. But Sean, you know what, man? I saw you there. I hadn't seen you in like probably 3 years, and you were so kind to me. I mean, you had the best attitude, a best approach towards life. I give you so much credit that you live in each moment and you just enjoy it and you don't worry about what people think or what people say. It's not that you're not doing anything good. You're doing great, but that's a respectable trait. And, I hope that never leaves you, my friend. Always stay yourself. You're a beautiful person. And I love you, man. This one's for you as well. So I really hope you had a great day today. And I hope I get to see you soon. All right. Forever your day in the book of Wend Wellness as well. You guys have a fantastic rest of your night. That's all we got for you today, but we are definitely going to see you tomorrow at some point. Not sure where, not sure when, but we'll see you then. Ciao. Happy Wend Wellness. We got to say that. It's our thing.